Strengthening cooperation through a renewable energy partnership is one of the key outcomes of a high-profile meeting between Anthony Albanese and his Indian counterpart, Narendra Modi. Joining me now is Smart Energy Council CEO John Grantham on this. Thanks for your time. Just starting with India, because it's a country heavily reliant right now on coal. What are their plans for transition? They're described as a bit of a laggard in terms of commitments, I guess, for reducing emissions.
Well, the framework that's been put in place, the AUKUS agreement with India and Australia, means that we're looking to strengthen the relationship in every field, but particularly when it comes to renewable energy. India has commenced a program to build a massive industrial base producing solar panels that could well be exported to the Australian market. There's a lot of interest to collaborate around renewable hydrogen and renewable ammonia. So we have delegates here who are looking to build the biggest renewable hydrogen projects in the world and collaborate actively as offtake partners with India, who's also looking to make the move. All the way through to little micro solar systems that produce clean drinking and electricity for the world's poorest. So India is moving. They're moving really rapidly, and they see Australia as a natural partner in that development. And I think it bodes well for the future of not just the Australian economy, but the future of the planet, frankly.
The way that can be rolled out as well, I know there have been analogies to some developing parts of the world to then not actually rolling out traditional phone lines because it's better off at that point to just pop up small mobile phone towers. Is that going to be similar as parts of regional India develop, that smaller renewable, maybe solar powered stations might be a better option because they don't have the issue of Australia where we are reliant on coal and gas and the way the grid has been built, and transitioning from that is slower and pretty expensive?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're in Gujarat the other day, and the state of Gujarat has over 30% of its electricity today coming from renewable energy. That's a massive achievement in an economy as large as India. And so we are seeing exactly what you're saying, that innovation where in remote areas they're not relying on the grid, they're actually looking to build microgrid powered by renewable energy. And the other big revolution happening in India is the electric vehicle revolution. And unlike Australia, in India, it's a bottom-up revolution. It's two-wheelers and three-wheelers. Actually, last month, the majority of three-wheelers sold in India were electric vehicles. So unlike Australia, where it's a top-down electric vehicle revolution, the transition is happening really quickly here. And Australia will learn a lot. How do you integrate that level of electric vehicle demand into the grid and manage it and power it with clean renewable energy and make the whole system work?
When it comes to these meetings in India, is anyone over there committing to actually spending big dollars on this? I mean, when you talk about the hydrogen project, that technology at scale and cost is still a bit of a question mark. Is it a sort of handshake, let's hope it works out, or is it, here's 10 or 20 billion we want to spend?
Look, definitely the latter. So yesterday we met with a big company, Indian company, that's developing renewable hydrogen in Oman and renewable ammonia. They're actively looking to acquire 2,000 square kilometres of land in Australia to build a 100 gigawatt renewable hydrogen plant in Australia. And so that is a multi-billion dollar activity. The other area where the Indians are very excited is actually for Australia to become a secure supply of lithium-ion batteries. We have all the precursor minerals, so we need to be value-adding those and actually supplying those into what will be the world's largest lithium-ion market. And there are also Indian companies looking to actually invest in building solar panel manufacturing plants in Australia. So these are multi-billion dollar opportunities, and the trust and collaboration between the two sides is really making that type of level of investment possible.
But that investment, does that still, what's actually signed there, I guess? Does it still depend on progress in the technology?
Well, the technology's there. It's really the framework. And I think India has been the forgotten market when it comes to Australia. We've looked to other parts of the world, but the Indian side is hungry to actually show success. And so we're actually literally having the red carpet rolled out for us across India as the federal governments and state governments engage. They want to actually see Australian companies move into this market and be successful and use that as a catalyst to then bring new technology and new partners in. On the Australian side, we want to sign those big agreements. Now, this is a process. This is the first high-level delegation in this sector, but it won't be the last. And I'm pleased to say that we will be coming back in July with Minister Chris Bowen at the G20 Energy Ministers meeting, because there is huge demand to follow up these discussions, make it real, and actually exploit the opportunities on both sides.
So, in terms of where these opportunities will be and where they're looking to buy land, which companies are looking to do it, and where would they be based in Australia?
Yeah, so there are actually several looking at major projects right now. Reliance is one. They're a $104 billion a year turnover Indian company, massive company. Avada, Renew, Acme, a whole bunch of players actually looking at the Australian market. And if you think about Australia and India both producing renewable hydrogen, when it's summertime in India, it's wintertime in Australia, and vice versa. So if you have operations in both countries supplying an offtake partner in Japan or South Korea or Germany or somewhere else in the world, we can actually produce much higher level of dependable supply across those two countries actually collaborating, and actually capture that massive economic opportunity. Because, Tom, what's happening right now is that all of that energy that's embedded in oil, coal and gas is transitioning to renewable. Will Australia stake out its claim and become the Saudi Arabia of renewable energy? That's the opportunity in front of us, and we don't have a minute to wait.
All right, John Grimes, good to get your thoughts today. Thank you.
Pleasure.